The name of the chapter is calorimetry, which means measurement of heat. What is heat? We say heat is a form of energy. What is the SI unit of heat? SI unit of heat?
Celsius, degree Celsius.
No. SI unit of heat. Heat is a form of energy. More than that.
Energy means
Any kind of
Joule. Sir, Joule.
joule.
Energy.
Yes, joule. Joule. Energy means SI unit is joule. SI unit of any kind of energy is joule. So SI unit of heat energy is joule. The other units, we don't say serious unit, other units. Other units are calorie and kilocalorie, other units. Do you know 1 calorie makes how much joule? 1 calorie is how much joule?
4.186. 4.18.
Yeah, you're right. 4.186, exactly 4.186, but we are rounding off and that is 4.2 joule, approximately 4.2 joule. 1.86 when you round off, it becomes 2.2. So this is the value. 1 calorie makes this much joule, this many joules. And 1 kilocalorie will be equal to 4200 joules. Kilo means 1000, no? That means 1000 calories. 1000 calorie value will be 4200 joules. 4.2 into 1000. So answer is coming 4200. 4200 joules. Okay. Now, heat and temperature. I think you are done in the lower class also, but one thing you need to know. Heat and temperature are the same thing or they are different? Heat and temperature? Heat and temperature are the same thing or different things? Tell me.
Different.
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 Same, they are not same.
How are they different?
Different thing.
How are they different? Yeah, they are. How are they different from each other? Tell me.
Sir, your voice is coming very low.
Heat is a form of energy and
Hello.
temperature is measurement.
You, sir. Hello. Heat is a form of energy. Temperature is a degree of hotness or coldness in a body. Hotness or coldness. Degree of hotness or coldness in a body is called temperature.
Sir, you are
Hello. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Second
Yes,
point of
sir.
difference. The SI unit of heat is joule and the SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. Kelvin denoted by K, capital K. SI unit of temperature is Kelvin, though other units are degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit, etc. But the SI unit is Kelvin. Okay. Heat is measured by calorimeter. Heat is measured by a container or device called calorimeter. Whereas temperature is measured by an instrument called thermometer. I think you all know that, thermometer. Okay, so these are the point of differences between heat and temperature. Okay, these are the point of differences between heat and temperature. Now, heat given to a substance depends on what factors. What is the formula of heat given to a substance? The formula I like for the formula of heat given to a substance formula is mc theta. Sometimes in some book they have given as H is equal to mc delta T. In some book they have given Q is equal to ms delta T, like that. So you can express in any one of the ways. So I will follow this way. H is equal to mc theta. What is m? M is mass of the body, mass of the substance. C is called specific heat capacity of the substance. Specific heat capacity of the material of the body. Material. That means nature of the body. The value of C varies from one type of material to the other type of material. And theta is temperature rise or temperature difference. Temperature difference. So heat given out or heat absorbed by a substance depends on these three quantities. mass, specific heat capacity, and theta is called temperature difference. I'll write here where m is equal to mass of the body. C is called specific heat capacity of the body. In short, we call it SHC of the body. And theta is temperature difference. It depends upon the temperature difference also. Temperature difference or rise of temperature. Suppose initial temperature is 10 and final temperature is 50. What is the value of theta then? Difference of temperature is how much? 10 to 50. The difference is 40. You have to subtract final minus initial, then you get value of theta. Here also same thing. This is also m is mass of the body, c is specific capacity, and delta t is change in temperature. Delta means change in temperature. Or if you take the Q means quantity of heat, m is mass, x is the specific capacity, delta t is the temperature difference. So in different books they have given in different manner. So in your concise book they have written like this mc delta t. But instead of using delta t, I will be using theta. Theta is easy to write. Let us write theta only. I will follow this formula of heat. What is the formula of heat contained by a substance or heat given lost by a substance, gained or lost by a substance? The formula is this mc theta. That means heat depends upon the quantity of heat contained by a body, depends upon the mass. More the mass, more the heat it will contain. Less the mass, less the directly proportional. Heat content also depends upon the value of C. Higher the value of C, higher the value of H. Lesser the value of C, lesser the value of H. C means specific heat capacity, and it depends upon the nature of the substance. Nature. What type of substance material is that? Different materials will have different value of C. I'll talk about that later. Okay, what is C and what are the different values? I'll tell you about that. And it depends upon the temperature difference also. More the temperature range or temperature difference, more the amount of heat will contain. Less the temperature difference, less the amount of heat the body will contain. Okay. Now give next heading. SHC of a substance. It means specific capacity of a substance. Addition of this. How do we define specific heat capacity of a substance? We say it is the amount of heat required. Please write down. It is the amount of heat required. It is the amount of heat required. It is the amount of heat required to raise RAISE, to raise the temperature of a unit mass of a substance, to raise the temperature of a unit mass of a substance, through 1 degree Celsius, or 1 Kelvin. Difference of temperature in degree Celsius and Kelvin will be equal. So either one. Yeah. Okay. Now write below that the SI unit. The SI unit of SHC. SHC is denoted by the symbol C. Is the SI unit of SHC, which is denoted by C, is what can be the SI unit? Let us look at this equation. From this equation, we can find SI unit. C the subject, the C value will come H by M theta. This M theta will come in division. That means SI unit of C will be joule. M will come down the kg. Per kg, we can add per kg. Again, theta also is coming down. per degree Celsius or per Kelvin, but SI unit is Kelvin. We write like this, or we can write in this format, or joules per kg per Kelvin. We read like this, -1 power, -1 power. We write like this. Kg will be taken up, kg power -1, K also will be taken up, K to the power of -1. This is the SI unit of SHC. Joule per kg, you read it this way, joule per Kelvin. If you read off here also, you have to read like this, joule per kg per Kelvin. This part once only you have to give. No need to give again and again. If somebody writes like this, joule per kg per Kelvin, it is wrong. These two will be taken as another fraction. Actually, this value will be equal to this. Joules K will come up by kg, so which is wrong answer. Which is a wrong unit. Don't write like this. This is wrong way. We write joules single slash kg Kelvin. Together we write, or we'll be writing like this, joules per kg per Kelvin. Okay. The other units we can add that is other units. We can joule, instead of joule we can add calorie. Calorie per gram we can write per degree Celsius, or calorie per kg also we can add calorie per gram per degree Celsius. Calorie. This way also we can write. Okay, but the SI unit time of temperature will take in Kelvin. We will not take in degree Celsius. Okay. Understood? Definition you understood. What is the definition of SHC? The amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a unit mass of a substance through 1 degree Celsius or through 1 Kelvin. Whenever the word specific is used, specific, what do we take as specific? We take the mass as specific. And the mass value we take 1 unit. That is per kg we can take, or per gram. Unit is 1. Either 1 kg or 1 gram you can take. Okay, now write down one is the SHC of say for example take iron. The SHC of iron is of, let us write copper. The SHC of copper is 0.4, or at 400 joules per kg per degree Celsius. Put the sentence under inverted comma, single inverted comma. What is the meaning of this statement? Let us find the meaning of this statement. Question may come, the SHC of copper is. What do you mean by this statement? This statement means that per kg means 1 kg. 1 kg of copper requires 400 joule of heat to raise its temperature through 1 degree Celsius. 1 degree. For 1 degree Celsius rise of temperature, or to raise the temperature through 1 degree Celsius. That is the meaning. Same way, if I say the SHC of water, SHC of water is 4.2 joule per gram per degree Celsius. If I say this, what is the meaning of this statement? Can you tell me what is the meaning of this statement? Tell me fast.
Means that 1
Yes, sir.
gram of
It means
water,
Yes.
1 gram of water requires 4.2 joules of heat to rise its temperature to 1 degree Celsius.
Not to rise, to raise its temperature. To raise its temperature through 1 degree Celsius.
1 degree Celsius.
Yes, you are right. You are right. So this is the meaning of SHC. SHC depends upon the nature of the substance. It varies from one type of substance to another type of substance. Among the common substance, water has the highest value of SHC. Water has highest or very high value, highest value of SHC, highest value of SHC. It is by nature, highest value of SHC. That's why water is very important liquid. Water has highest value of SHC. And what is that? The values I have written already here. You can write on the value once again. SHC of water like this. 42 kg by 4.2 gram Celsius. Divided 1 per degree Celsius calorie, because 4.2 joule makes 1 calorie. We are supposed Kelvin or 4.2. This is same as 2 per gram per degree Celsius and so this is specific heat capacity for water. It is by nature. Water has the ability of absorbing larger quantity of heat or retaining or containing the larger quantity of heat as compared to any other liquid. Okay. Now the value of SHC is lowest for copper. It is found that the value of SHC is lowest for copper, and the value I have already written there, 400 joule per kg per Kelvin or 0.4 joule per gram per degree Celsius. The value you don't need to know, but just keep in mind, copper has one of the lowest value of SHC, lowest value. Normally, solids will have low value, liquids will have higher value, and the gases have the highest value. Gases have the highest value of SHC normally. Good conductor, can you guess? Good conductor will have high value. The substance which is a good conductor of heat will have a high value of HHC or will have a low value of HHC? Tell me. Any good conductor of heat will have a high value of HHC.
So it will have low value of HHC.
Good conductor have a high value of HHC or low value? Huh?
High.
Answer is low. Low.
High value.
Because you know the formula, no? Like the formula goes on like this. H is equal to MC theta. Okay. What is a good conductor? In good conductor, what happens? Temperature rises quickly. And in bad conductor, temperature does not rise quickly. A poor conductor, the temperature does not rise quickly. When theta is more, the C will be less because they are inversely proportional. These two are inversely proportional. Theta means the rise of temperature. When the rise of temperature is more, what will be less? C and theta, how are they related to each other? Directly proportional, inversely proportional? Tell me.
Inversely.
Inversely. Yes. Good conductor, you will find that the temperature rise will be quicker. That means when theta is more, the value of C will be what? Less. No. Like copper container, copper gets heated up fast. This temperature rises quickly there. That's why it has a low value of C. Low value of C means it does not contain larger quantity of heat. For 1 degree Celsius rise of temperature. Such substance heats up also quicker and cools also quicker. And the substance which has a higher value of HHC will be heating up slower and will also cooling also slower because they are going to store or they are going to contain large quantity of heat for the rise of temperature, for the change of temperature. Can you just guess, suppose we are taking a container here in which we are having oil, and another container we are having water. This is oil, this is water. Same container here. And you're supplying heat. Supplying heat. Here also and here also you're supplying heat. You're supplying heat in both the containers. Tell me which of the containers, which of the liquid, oil or water will heat up faster? In which case the temperature rise will be quicker there. Can you tell me?
Water.
Which will be heated up faster?
Water. Water.
Oil,
You don't know that one. Oil. Water will take long time because it has very high value of SHC, very, very high value, exceptionally high value. Water needs large quantity of heat for the change of temperature. That means you have to supply the heat for longer time because its capacity of absorbing heat is more. Then its temperature will change by some degree Celsius. And here you will find that the temperature is rising quickly, but the oil has not contained much heat because it has got very low value of SHC as compared to water. Maybe this is 4.2 joule per gram per degree Celsius, and suppose I guess this is 1 joule per gram per degree Celsius. So if you supply 4.2 joule of heat, then only temperature will change by 1 degree Celsius. And here you supply only 1 joule of heat, temperature is changing by 1 degree Celsius. So which of them will be containing more heat, oil or water? Which of them will contain more quantity of heat?
Water.
Water.
Water. It is by nature that we cannot help because water has a very high value of SHC. And it's going to contain larger quantity of heat. Definitely it will take longer time, longer time. That's why to make a cup of tea and all, then you have to boil water. Boiling water takes long time. And just to, heat up oil, it takes very short time. That is the idea. That means in good conductor, the temperature rise is quicker. That's why the value of C is low. And in a bad conductor, the rise of temperature is less, so C value is more. And a good conductor has low SHC, right on the fact, low SHC. Poor or bad conductor, you can have poor or bad conductors will have high SHC. High SHC. Sometimes they may give question even like this. Like they may give two substance A and B. The value of A is given 0.4 unit SHC value. B value is given.
Sir, time up.
Substance A is having 0.4 unit of SHC and B is having 0.8 unit of SHC. Can you guess which one of them is a good conductor? Out of the two, which one is a good conductor? Better conductor of heat? Which one? A or B? Which one is a good conductor of heat? A, because it has got low value. Yes. Because in A the temperature will rise quickly. Yes.
is the best conductor.
Which of them will contain more quantity of heat? A or B? Which will contain more quantity of heat?
B.
B. Because of higher value. Yes. 0.8 it will contain 0.8 unit of heat for 1 degree Celsius temperature as compared to A, because A is containing only 0.4 heat. Which will be heated up faster, A or B?
A.
A.
A. Which will cool faster? Which one will cool faster?
A.
A.
A. Which will be supplying the heat for longer time?
B.
Which will be retaining the heat for longer time?
B.
Yes. B will be supplying the heat for longer time. I think you got the idea, isn't it? Among the metal, aluminum has the high value, very high value of SHC. Among the metal, aluminum, and the lowest value water has. And overall, water has very high value of SHC. high value of specific heat capacity by nature, that we cannot help it. It is by nature. Understood? Okay,
Thank
this,
you, sir.
we do this much. We carry on. We carry on
Bye.
in this chapter. The next class.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Uh,
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.